We are now recording the June 8th, 2018 Small Business Accounting Advisors. Hello, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. So is it allergies or is it a cold?
Oh, don't get me started.
Better get some honey.
The good thing about being on a video is nobody's going to catch anybody's germs. So we're all good.
Okay, I'm back.
Right.
Linda.
Yes.
You tried something with QBox.
I did try something with QBox, and I'll
Do tell.
I have one client that I had given I'd made a folder for, and you pay every month for each folder. But that client doesn't access their data file very often. And then I have my own folder, which I have like 5 files in.
Yeah.
And I have a friend, and I didn't want to charge her a lot of money, so I put her data file in my folder.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed then that every time I was syncing all these other data files in my folder, they'd be changing on her computer as well. So
If you shared it with her, you had shared all of them?
The whole thing, yeah.
I had put my personal friend into my folder where I had 4 data files where I basically check up on
Make
people.
another subfolder. So did you make another subfolder?
I did not. I don't know if you pay for subfolders or not. But what I decided to do, and I will show you this, is I decided with hold on, let me get back to Zoom. I decided to take the one folder that had one data file in it where the last time the guy went in there was like back in November.
Mm-hmm.
And I decided I called QBox, or I chatted with them,
Mm-hmm.
and I said, can I rename a folder? And they said, sure.
Yeah, because you're
I
right.
have renamed that folder
Mm-hmm.
123 VIP. And it is for clients that I want them on QBox,
Mm-hmm.
but very rarely go into their data file.
Okay.
And obviously, and their data files have passwords on them. So I'm going to put all my 123 VIP clients into that folder.
But if you're worried about them seeing the other things in the folder, do subfolder.
They will see it, but they can't go into them.
No, they can't go into them. But
I'm telling them that's how I can give them my 123 VIP low price guarantee, because then I can split the cost of that folder.
right.
When we finish this webinar, you want to change the name of that VIP folder.
I'm sorry, who's that?
Larry said when
Larry.
you finish this webinar, we want to change that name.
Because now because
it's now
broadcast on a
public.
webinar the name of the folder, so now it could be hacked. I doubt it could be hacked, but it's now public knowledge, right?
So you never ever show anybody the names of any of your folders? That would mean
This isn't just a folder on your computer. This is an online folder. I don't know. Is that what you're thinking, Larry? Is that why you were thinking?
Yeah, that's it.
I'm not going to show you then. So
Yeah.
that's not really the name. But I thought that way I could put in people that probably access their data file maybe. And
Well, you may want to look into what Sarah said and make subfolders.
Here,
That
let's.
way each one has their own subfolder.
I'm
and
gonna
can only
go.
do that.
I'm gonna go to Q. I'm gonna go to the online Q boxes where you give permission.
Okay. Got it.
And it's pink. Let's go to pink icon. What is it, boy? Well, I usually do it through log me in. You know, we do it through log me in. QBox.
Ernest from an IP. Wonder where he's logging in from. Hey, Ernest.
From some random car.
Undisclosed location.
Wait, Linda,
I'm in
you are
sunny California.
Oh, you gave up on Boise already?
No, you know, I had to come out here and get this software deployed at the Winchester Mystery House.
Oh, yeah. You were talking about the tickets. That looks like fun.
For you.
I've got a couple clients I would love to take a look at. Yeah. That is huge, multi-million-dollar music festival. And
Oh, yeah?
they're using the ticketing from system that SCAD uses, the university owns all these theaters.
Yeah.
Everybody has to buy the tickets through them, and then they take all these fees and everything. And they haven't found a program that they like. So, right, you know, boy, especially if it interfaces with QuickBooks.
QuickBooks Desktop, I guarantee it does because I wrote it.
Because you wrote it.
Oh, nice.
And then I was looking at that event software, Gather, and that was a good comment. You said, well, if it doesn't work with QuickBooks, you know, there's a lead right there.
Right?
I saw that.
Smart.
Okay, let's get back to our show. I think what we
QBox. Okay, so if I go into QBox, you can share at the. Let me see something.
at the subfolder level.
Yeah. All right. So I can share. Okay. So you go over here. Yes, because I used to make subfolders and I couldn't figure out why I wasn't sharing because I forgot the step to go invite them, you know?
To
So
the
for
subfolder.
instance, let me see. I can't share.
Well, see, and I moved their files. I renamed the folder and moved files. So I don't even know if they can get in or not. I guess we'll,
I've got one where, and it could just be Linda's. And then underneath I have folders. So like on this one, I had folders for, I was doing PDFs. And then, yeah, you can share at a folder level.
So you and Sarah have to get together.
That's what I would do. You own a QBox, and then you can have a couple little folder for those clients that are so rarely in their QuickBooks and everything. And that way they're not going to see each other's QuickBooks and stuff.
Right. Whether they have passwords or not.
Right.
okay. Well, they've never talked about that in the webinars that they do, you know, their once a month thing. So,
Well,
Maybe we
and
should-
you know, you want each client to own their own folder, in all fairness. But you're right. You've got a client that it's in a QBox for your convenience.
but
More
I
than
don't really want them to have to be constantly syncing all of the other files. So you're saying if there's
Right.
a folder,
it'll only sync what they're allowed to see.
well, I'll go on to chat and ask them about that. Because that seems like a cheating way to get out of paying for a folder.
Well, you're the client. They're not the client. You're the client.
Got it.
But I don't.
I mean, I'm talking about, I don't want to cheat QBox. I really appreciate the program, and I don't want to do
Yeah.
Talk to Chris, see what he says.
That's what I'm doing. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's move on. Linda, you are looking for a roommate for Scaling New Heights.
To be attending Scaling New Heights. I'm going to be arriving Saturday night, June 16th, and I will be leaving Thursday morning, June 21st. So I have Saturday night, or some people may just come in on Sunday, not on Saturday if they live close by. I happen to be flying in Saturday because I want to adjust to the time change. But I have a room to share, and I don't know.
What hotel is it?
Well, I have to go look that up. So.
Sorry.
Posted on, there's a lot of hotels that have very similar names.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead and post it in the group when you get that information. And
yes,
yeah,
and it is one of the Scaling New Heights hotels. They have 2 hotels that a shuttle is going to be running around to get us things. So And it's located relatively near the,
Okay.
Well, good. I look forward to seeing you because we were going to drive up Sunday morning, but I thought I don't want to mess with traffic and all that. So, and then when I saw that there were more sessions on Sunday, so we got Saturday night too. So we'll drive up. And they say to get your badge and all before 6, you know, in plenty of time because a lot of people are going to.
doesn't land until I think 6. So I hope to get to the hotel by about 7.
Okay. Okay.
And so now you'll have to pick out what sessions you want to see.
Yes.
Right. Right.
Sarah, you're in a spot. You want to see Murphy, and your husband wants to see Microsoft.
Or the other way around. Did you want to see Murph?
I have to look at what
He
content is.
he hasn't finished looking at the stuff. Well, both of my gals came in that we're usually closed on Fridays, so we came in just specifically to go through the catalog and read everything. And Greg Bozen is he's the big nonprofit. And he's hysterical. So that I said there are certain things that they have to do. The rest of them they can do what they want. But and you know what? Everybody wants to see Dawn talking about the fraud stuff. She's so funny.
I love Dawn.
I love her. So I said,
She is interesting. It is fun watching her speak.
mm-hmm.
I love Dawn too, but I do not want to watch the fraud thing.
Really? I'm trying to think. There were some times where it was like, and then there was another time it was like, oh, there's 4 things I want to do at the same time.
You get ACE credit for the Dawn thing, though.
If you're advanced certified.
Yeah. Are you looking at the ACE part? Because you got to look at the ACE part of the catalog.
I should consider that.
Yeah. We put it in, Linda. We took the PDF, it's 115 pages or something, and dropped it. We actually pulled it up on our laptops.
Okay.
I didn't want to print 100 and something
I
pages.
was going to say.
I've got my schedule.
You've already got your schedule?
It's done.
Okay, here it is.
It's a done deal, huh?
Done
That's
deal.
one less
I
thing.
do not want to go back through it. I did go and assigned all my classes, figured out what I wanted to take, and when I went back to put it all in,
Mm-hmm.
some of the classes were gone.
What?
Yeah.
They actually fill?
Huh?
They'll
They
get
were filled or
filled,
they were
or they
gone?
Oh, they
canceled?
went away.
Oh, completely gone.
Yeah.
So the speaker didn't.
I know Ron Baker incoming, and aren't they bringing in Jennifer or somebody?
Account tech says Jennifer.
Oh, account tech. Sorry, they're blurring together.
Now I have to try to remember what my attendee name is and everything.
Randy Johnston. I'm catching, I think, all of his. He's always good.
Yeah, Randy's great.
Great.
So is it?
Okay, so scaling new heights. I'm going to see if I can find my username and password.
Okay. On to the next subject. Sarah has a client who wants to look for add-on software for QBO. Mentioned it.
Desktop.
Desktop. I'm sorry, Sarah. I should know better by now. And then the next thing you know, they bought it.
They bought it.
They bought it.
You see, so I talked to the software vendor that they're looking at, and I told the guy, I said, you know, clients have to realize that it isn't just that one thing they want to solve. That there's little fingers and things in a business tend to all touch one another. And so you have to think of the back end. What's the back end? So your life may have just gotten easier. My life just got more difficult. And I said, what happened was shiny, new and shiny. And so right before we got on the video, they actually did a Zoom meeting for the demo and recorded it. So he just sent me the demo of them yesterday when she pulled out her credit card and went, yeah, well.
And they're pushing for that, I'm sure.
And
I'm
so
sure
he's
they're saying,
like,
I'll give you this much of a discount if you
no,
sign
discount.
right now."
This is one of those companies that you can find no pricing on. That's usually your first thing of going. Okay. So, it's not small. It's $3,500 a year for a seasonal business. So, anyway, I'm going to watch that. And then now that I'm getting an idea of what it is she's trying to solve, but how do we as advisors, okay, because my weekend's now blown because they've already got $650. If this is a bad decision, we need to get this money back. And they're all of a sudden in a hurry, and I'm leaving on Friday.
Right.
So,
I've personally had to go both ways.
Part of me, but see, it's going to affect us in the long run. And so if it
So
doesn't,
how did she find out about it? I mean, was it another person in her industry? Was it the app that contacted her?
see, that's the thing. I'm sure they started Googling. The thing is, there are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of apps in a rental venue genre. Okay. And so I said, take those pain points, and it come to find out, I didn't even think about this. Her biggest pain point that sucks up her day is answering the phone. Hi, I'm looking at a wedding, 2 years from now on Saturday, whatever. Okay. It is actually what she found was something that automates inquiries, where you can actually do an inquiry and it looks at the schedule and everything and does an automatic response. That's cool. That's cool. So, so it'll work with the contracts, but then you have to buy another add-on to do the signatures, So here's what I wanted to recommend really to any of us who handle all this is you have to have a method of a methodology for looking at software. And that's why I like our smart sheets, where we do the solutions in columns, and you start doing features on the left, and like I did with the accounts payable automation sheet. And so I go to the website. First you start looking at reviews, and you get the real popular ones, and you start reading reviews. And when you read reviews, you'll see comments, granular comments like, this right here doesn't work like I thought it would, So then you start building out your questions based on, first of all, feature sets. We do this. We do QuickBooks. Well, which QuickBooks?
Right.
So, and then as you look at all these different solutions, looking at one will make you go, wow, that's a cool feature. I wonder if this one does it. See, it's not a quick process, but you have
and I think that's the problem. They don't really want to go through
they won't go through the effort and all that is to go through it. So, but what will happen is then you go back to the other one that was your favorite, and you find out, oh, it doesn't have that feature. Well, is it a deal killer, or is it just like oh shoot,
Right.
And then, or you find out it does do it. They just didn't have it on their list,
Right.
So that's what I was trying to get across to her was, let me help you with the method. And we were meeting next Tuesday.
And she bought it already?
Yep.
Yeah, see, I'm on the credit card with a notification if anything is above a certain amount and stuff like that. I get an email. I got an email last night.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and I Googled it and I went, event software.
It's interesting what you said too, because I find that when you're working with a client and you give them the method in that, and you have 2 or 3 of them that you're working with, that you actually hone in on a much better solution.
Yes.
Because what happens is you first get the idea in your head and you're looking at stuff, then you play off each other a lot. You say, well, what about this? And the other person says, well, yeah, but what about
team effort?
And I mean, it's like after a week, you come in with something that's like really just about perfect for what you need.
Mm-hmm. So it may be a great solution.
It may be.
It may be. But now all of a sudden, we're in a crisis situation because they've already gotten money and they're looking to me to go yes or no. And so now I got pulled into the analyzing software. So
Right.
Right.
And the tough part is it's really hard to know if it's going to work unless you use it. And some software, the setup and just to be able to use it is so time consuming. You're either going to use it or you're not.
or you're not. And that's my at first blush.
Yeah.
I said, do you have videos, support documents, articles, and all that? Once you become a customer,
Then you get that.
we can give you that. I'm like, oh, really?
Well, that's a
I'm happy
big
with
red
that.
flag because one of the things I want to look at is support. How good is the support?
Yeah.
Please don't send me to a community where I have to ask a question.
Right. All right. So,
Well, that really is I mean, I hear you say that, but that really is the model these days.
yeah.
It
look it up
really
yourself,
is the
man.
model, but we've got QBox and we've got Chris Wise that we're used to.
Well, I guess because we're spoiled.
Well,
don't
I'm
like
going
the
to say,
model.
it's
The
not
model
just because you're
stinks.
spoiled. It's because the model that they're going after is, a select group of people.
Mhm.
So that can help other people. So, like,
I've been in that situation with the communities. It's a hit or miss. You'll get a
Yeah.
good answer or you're not. Or you'll get a horrible answer.
But
blows
somebody
up your system.
like Chris is concentrating on people like us to make sure we
knows
really know what we're doing, and then we'll advise out. So,
Yeah, but I know Chris actually talks to clients too.
yeah.
Yeah. When I was brand new, he talked to me. He didn't know who I was.
Well, they're still small. See, I don't would say they're small, but I'm just saying it's still manageable for them
Yes.
to do that. When an app has really been around for a long time, there's no way they can do that.
But I've
Not
been.
without huge staff, like TSheets must have like a whole floors of cool
That's
support.
true.
Well, Bay State Consulting,
I go to their website in the help place and I type in a question, and within 10 or 20 seconds, there's somebody there answering my question.
I know.
And they were very good.
But see, I like looking things up myself, and you're talking about you'd rather talk to a human, and that's just
Well, chat can work too. I mean, when you have a problem, you have that problem right now. You don't have a problem waiting, for someone to get back to you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I didn't know they were going to reply right away. They said, send us an email. And so I typed it in. I said, can I just rename a folder? And it's like, well, before I could go on to the next thing, all of a sudden I saw an answer coming up.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't expect that. I thought it was
Nice.
maybe get one tomorrow or something.
Gina, I wanted to slip another topic in for you today.
Sure.
Okay.
Because I went out to a DevOps meeting, and part of that meeting was TSheet's director of development talking about how TSheets does their development.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that might be really interesting for you and all the listeners to hear, from their development team's perspective, how they do things.
Got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so one of the things that I was fascinated by, so he gave the keynote speech, and he talked about, the title of his speech was Risk.
Yes.
And it was so, I'll give you the fast fact that blew me away. A new developer in TSheets, within 5 days of being in the company, can deploy code to production.
Wow.
And is that their onboarding processes? What makes that so cool
I don't know that it makes it
or
cool.
doable?
It talks about risk, right? So what they do is, with the new developer, they put them through a boot camp.
Oh, they throw them in the field.
And they put them through a boot camp, and then
Sink or swim, dude.
But the other thing that that makes it work. So there's a whole slide about what makes it work.
Yeah.
And so one of the things that makes it work is they do very small deployments. So if I could use the example of TBX, right? It would be like, oh, we're not going to go try to put in this entire feature set. We're going to go add some code behind the scenes that nobody actually knows about, but will facilitate, a major feature later. So they're constantly doing small deployments of stuff and then turning it off. So even though, as an example, you might be logging in every day and logging your time, they might have deployed a bunch of new code that you won't see for 2 months. But they will have that code running.
Agile, is that what you're saying? I heard Mark go, agile.
Oh, highly agile. Well, and in fact, I don't even know that we can even call it agile anymore, because when you start working in terms of DevOps. So the other fast fact I'll give you, which kind of blew me away, was, do you know how many QA people they have?
How many?
None. 0.
So is that everybody does it?
Yeah. So their development philosophy is that developers are responsible for their own code. One of the kind of things that they do behind the scenes, which I also found interesting. You should know this if you're ever talking to TSheets. They make developers listen in on calls once a week.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
So it was interesting. I thought it was pretty cool too. It's like, so you develop a new feature, and shortly after you've deployed that, you have to go listen in the help desk.
See how people are using it.
See how it's going.
And see what their pain points are. Because you know what the developer has in his mind, this is what should be happening. But when the users come on, they're thinking, well, maybe a different way.
Right.
And they may come up with things that the developer hasn't even thought of. Right.
And, at the very least, it, obviously they don't interact on the call. They're really just in listen mode. But, it just gives them that real
time.
If there's going to be pain out there, they're going to hear some of that pain. Or conversely, right?
Yeah.
If you're
fantastic.
especially happy about it, you go, oh, this feature is awesome, man. That could make some developers' day.
Awesome.
So how do we know if they're listening?
You don't. You assume everyone is all the time.
That's right. That's right.
I'm verbal.
But you have to assume at any time that
That's great.
Yeah.
That is wonderful. Hey, Ernest, starting July 1 in Georgia, you can't go anywhere near your cell phone if you're driving.
Oh, is that right?
Nothing. There's some ambiguity in that you can't even use like Pandora or a radio app.
Wow.
Yeah,
wow.
and then they said, well, we didn't intend it to be that. We intended that you can't touch it. So if you want to start Pandora before you start driving, but you can't touch it unless you pull over and are parked.
Wow.
I wouldn't get this thing
leave the
done.
phone in the car. I mean the trunk, but.
I just wanted to go to my slide deck so that I could read a couple more points.
Okay, okay. Oh, so you went to the iPhone?
Yeah, so I'm on my iPhone, so I just flipped over to the pictures. So one of the other things that they do is what they refer to as blameless postmortems.
Wow. That sounds
so, the big concept here is that, they get people in a room and they talk about a new feature that got rolled out or a major issue that happened, and then they start talking about, how it went without calling out anybody by name that might have made a mistake.
That's nice.
That's going to help.
Well, it makes you, leads back to his title, risk. You're going to be more apt to risk.
Yeah.
If you're not afraid of failing.
Right.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So, yeah, I think, so that was one of the things. And then I want to pull out one more here.
Are you sharing a screen?
I I don't know how to do it on this, but I just flipped back to my picture. So they use their own software.
Good. I think that all developers should use their own software.
Yeah.
So all of their developers actually have to use the TSheet
Their own
software in order to log their project level detail, not just in and out at the beginning of the day. Projects.
Good. Good.
I'll tell you what, of all the accounting technology companies that we have been exposed to in the last, I don't know how many years, TSheets blows me away the most.
Yeah.
You know? From marketing to features to
All
attitude, the whole company. All of it. Yeah. I mean, they should be an absolute model for everybody else. But what happened is that gives our expectations. We know it's possible. So then when you see a company that's not doing that, you know what you're missing.
Right.
All right.
So anyhow, I just wanted to slip that in for you.
Thank
that
you.
was fun.
Appreciate it. We are out of time already. So
Wow.
I know it goes fast. That half hour goes fast. So we will see you all same time, same place next week.
See ya.
Bye-bye.